Welcome to the World Trending News For You channel. In a striking escalation, the U.S. under President Donald Trump has imposed steep tariffs on Indian goods, reaching a total of 50%, a move driven by India's continuing purchase of Russian oil. The Trump administration's approach comprises two consecutive measures: an initial 25% reciprocal tariff, followed by an additional 25% penalty tied specifically to energy imports, elevating total duties to unprecedented levels. India's Trade Minister, Piyush Goyal, stated that his country is approaching the trade dispute with Washington with a very open mind. However, he cautioned that improving ties with China should not be misconstrued as a pivot away from the U.S., underscoring India's commitment to strategic autonomy. The stepped-up duties are set to take full effect by August 27th, with the second tranche of 25% deployed in response to India's Russian oil procurement. This marks a dramatic shift from earlier phases of the dispute, signaling deepening economic strain, domestic fallout, and industry reverberations. The impact of the tariffs is already rippling across the Indian economy. In Surat's diamond industry, which relies heavily on the U.S. market for over $10 billion in exports, officials warn of severe job losses and declining trade critical, especially amid a pre-existing downturn in demand for both natural and lab-grown gems. Meanwhile, in Kolkata, leather exporters faced with additional duties are considering rebranding their products under a Made in Europe label to retain access to U.S. markets, illustrating the lengths to which manufacturers are stretching to circumvent trade barriers. The tariff escalation has reignited concerns about the broader geopolitical ramifications. Analysts says that the heavy-handed approach risks eroding 2 decades of strategic gains in the U.S.-India relationship and could push India into deeper alignment with Russia and China. For its part, India has firmly maintained that its decisions, especially in energy and trade, are guided by national interest and sovereign priorities. Delhi also reiterated that trade and energy choices shouldn't be conflated with geopolitical alignments. Adding to the complexity, senior U.S. diplomat John Kerry criticized the abrupt tariff impositions, calling them devoid of diplomatic finesse and urging for dialogue over coercion. He commented, "Great nations don't give ultimatums all the time during a forum addressing international cooperation. What lies ahead?" Despite high tensions, Indian officials continue to signal a willingness to engage, even as trade talks remain stalled, and a planned U.S. trade delegation visit to New Delhi was canceled, dampening short-term hopes for de-escalation. The deep integration of both economies with U.S. tech, defense, and manufacturing actors long invested in India offers a potential pathway back toward a more stable alignment if diplomatic overtures regain traction. President Trump's decision to impose up to 50% tariffs on Indian exports, citing India's reliance on Russian oil, has triggered economic alarm and strategic recalibration in New Delhi. While industries scramble to shield themselves, India remains firm in its strategic autonomy. The standoff marks a watershed moment in U.S.-India relations, with global implications hanging in the balance. That's all for now from World Trending News For You channel. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.